Make some noise. Hadithi.
So I'll just share a short story. The theme for today is back in the day. So it's about stories that are so important who we are today. You know, the things that make us. You know, nowadays they see us looking this person and they think we're always this person. They don't understand the battles we have to go through. So for me, it was very, very interesting. So when I was 9 years old, I know it's hard to believe that I was once 9. And so I was in school, and I think at the time I was in standard 1, grade 3. And I was going to a school called Nomzamo Junior Secondary School. And I mean, we can't really tell if you're smart in grade 1 or 2, because everyone is smart in grade 1 or 2, let's be honest, right? Well, everyone have met. Some people have had some experiences. And so by grade 1, that's when we start to see who's maybe paying attention, who's starting to show more potential than others. So I was okay. I was not too bad. And back in the day, they used to have this thing, number 1, number 2, number 3. You know that situation, right? Number 10. So you wanted to be in the top 10. And I would always languish around number 5, which is good. Number 5 is not too bad. But also I was very young to be in grade 3 at the time. So I accepted that to mean, if I was older, I would be number 1, so it's okay. And then one day, I took my report card to my mother, and to her shock, I was number 23, which is not too bad because there was 25 of us, so I was not last. And so it didn't shock me, but it shocked her. And she's like, what's going on with the child? So she went back to the school to try and figure out what has happened here. Clearly there was some mistake. Maybe what they meant to do was to add the 2 and the 3 to make 5. But then, you know, math. And so the teacher says, I think the child has got an eye problem. Now just to explain how bad it was, I was already sitting in the front, but every time I had to stand up and go to the board to go look at the word and come back and write. And if you were going to school in the 90s, there were no photocopiers and printers in black schools. All notes on the board and you had to compare, right? And so I would sit after school because I'm a bit behind, I'm going up and down to the board and I can't see. And at this age, I don't know how to say it to my mom, I can't see. I just think, well, you know, this is what it is. And so I get tested, and it was the first time I went into an elevator, by the way, in Villanome Hospital in Bloemfontein. And so I was stepping into this elevator, and there was a doctor who actually stepped in as well. So I thought, there's a test going on, because the doctor is here, I'm here, right? And then he stepped out, he left us in there. I'm thinking, how who ran the test, not the doctor? But after that test, I was prescribed, and I had this really heavy double lens glasses. They were making things worse, because I was already short and tiny. And now I've got heavy glasses, and I'm in primary school. Primary school kids are savage. Yeah. They are the worst. Those little kids. But I needed them. I needed to see. And so I wore them a couple of times to school. And I was on the receiving end of some teasing. But it didn't matter. I was doing needlework at the time, so I was always with the ladies, so it didn't matter. You know? So I just thought they're teasing me because they can't be with the ladies. So I can. That's what I think. But the one time we visited the doctor again, and the doctor said, look, this child is still young, and this eye condition is reversible. The problem here is that his right eye is lazy. It's not doing the work. And so, to prevent double vision, the left eye compensates and drops its vision to match the right eye. So otherwise you've got a double picture. So you need to improve the right eye. Then you sort of try to kind of balance that. Parents says, fantastic, and it sounds like good music to my ear. And they prescribed something very interesting, this very beautiful technology. It was ahead of its time. Some of you might have seen it, heard of it. They gave me a patch on my left eye. And the premise was simple. You wear this patch all the time. The right eye will be forced to see, and eventually it's going to get trained and trained and trained, and it's going to get better. I said, oh, wonderful. I wore that patch once to school, and I was like, I'd rather go blind. This was exactly the time when we had things like Masilo on TV and Tumo with the patch, and you know what? Couldn't take it. Couldn't take it. And so I stopped wearing it almost immediately. And so it became a deterioration of my eyesight throughout my primary school years, throughout my high school years. When I got to high school, my glasses were so thick and heavy that they actually injured me here. I had to get some other special technology to make them lighter, take out the glass, put in the plastic. And it was troubling. At some point in high school, I wanted to get a girlfriend, and I looked like a geek, and geeks were not in fashion at the time. So I just stopped wearing them altogether. But that means I walk around and I can't really see. But then I must pretend that I see. I developed very interesting strategies. How to see when you can't see. My best one was that if you are far, don't look at people who are far. Why do you do it? Why do you look at people who are far? Look at people who are close. Those are the people you can see. And so if you're over there and you're waving at me, I don't wave back. I'm like, oh, I didn't see. I wasn't looking. I was also playing sports, and I was struggling with sports because now we're playing soccer and the ball is flying in the air. Someone is jumping to head it. You're not sure which one is the head, which one is the ball. Things are getting dangerous. But you know, looking back at those times, it's what taught me how to survive. Because in those times, I had to learn how to survive, especially when I got to boarding school, when you didn't have the protection of your parents. And you are just in the center of any teasing. I mean, by this time, I'm short, I'm skinny, I've got double lens glasses, and Steve Urkel is on circuit. I wasn't winning. But I did make it through that. And I look back and I realized that perhaps those hardships are not the hardest things I could have experienced, but if I didn't experience that at a young age, I would not have understood that sometimes life is not friendly, and sometimes life is not fair. And what you lack somewhere, appreciate what you have, and then make the best of it. But survive. Survive. Because life is long. So survive.